Bloody birds. Go on, do one. Welcome back to the Paul Oldham Details channel, and in this week's video we are going to be doing the cheaper end of the market, the more sort of body shop sort of products. Now these, I say the cheaper end of the market, these certainly are, if you buy these in bulk, I will link all the products I'm going to use this week under the video. This tends to be the sort of stuff that guys in body shops use. We don't really see it on Instagram, certainly not on my pages. I tend to do the more well-known brands amongst the detailing community and the smaller guys. Well, these guys, Palmer Automotive, thanks to Sarah, she sent down whack products. I did have a crafty go the other week with the auto nozzle video of the snow foam, and I want to have a proper review this week. So let's just go through some of these products in no particular order. We've got obviously the snow foam, which did get damaged in transit thanks to whoever delivered this. I can't remember who it was, Yodel, Parcel Force, Carrier Pigeon, I can't remember. But it got damaged, and I've used some of it already, so hence there's not much in there at the moment. That's the snow foam. We've then got this one, Cherry Bomb Wash and Wax. That's the shampoo. And then moving along the bus, we have Purple Apparel, which is their iron out remover, fallout. One down here, before I forget, this is like a auto gloss. It's like a hand polish, comes sort of glaze, all in one, should we say. Probably got fillers in it. Tends to be like, you know, the quick polish up, quick once over, get it out on the forecourt type product. Then we've got the glass cleaner, Fast Glass. No, that is not mouthwash, do not gargle. And the last one, Showroom Finish Palmer Automotive, which not to be confused with the other one, although they might be very, very similar products, because on this bottle it does say about washing your car without the need of water. Don't really want to be doing that today, not something I really agree with, but this is their QD, their quick detailer, removes water spots and all the usual malarkey. It gets fingerprints, that sort of thing, you know, it's right at the last knock-ins, this is what you use. So that's their QD. Also, now remember, this is the cheaper end of the market, a very, very generic wash mitt, and also applicator, a glass cloth, and last of all, a fairly generic drying towel. Now, the reason I really wanted to do this video is just to show, is it 90% application, 10% product? Is it, you know, the products and the application? We're going to find out today in this week's video. So let's get the hose out and crack on. So first things first, we're not going to really concentrate too much on the wheels this week. We gave this a bit of a rinse down, a bit of a power wash down before we started. Speed it up for your enjoyment as ever with my highly brilliant editing skills. Yeah, right. And on with the snow foam. So a good 100ml in this lance, 1 litre lance. Not the thickest snow foam I've ever come across. Wait and see. So don't expect any social media fancy snow foam shots from this one. The proof will be in the pudding, as they say. Or in the snow foam in this case. So this is what it looks like while it's dwelling. I have to admit, before you jump on your keyboards, not the best place to do a car. It was very, very warm. Unavoidable until someone donates me a gazebo. So dwelling on the roof there. So a quick rinse down, and I mean a quick rinse down, running around the car virtually. Let's see what we're going to be left with. This, as Garfield will tell you, it's looking a damn sight cleaner already before we do our 2-bucket wash. Even he was getting hot. So this is a Cherry Bomb Wash and Wax. So that's a wax infused shampoo. I didn't put that much water in that bucket. I should have put a lot more water in it because I didn't expect this to happen. Complete eruption time. It is very, very sudsy. Not brilliant with the lubricants, I've got to admit. It's not the most lubricated shampoo I've ever used, but it is incredibly sudsy. When the water went down in the bucket, I thought I'd just top the bucket back up. Didn't even bother using the pressure washer, just used the hose, and it was back up sudsy again. 3 capfuls of shampoo in the bucket. And that's the wash mitt that comes in the sample kit. Yes, it's a cheap wash mitt. It does the job. It's not the best wash mitt in the world, but it does the job. And that's what you're left with. So, drying time. Start with the glass. Yes, I know, I didn't pat the glass. Believe you me, this car has got more swirls than a Cadbury's factory. It is swirled beyond belief. And I have yet to machine polish it through lack of time. So drying towel did a reasonable job removing most of the water. It's onto this stuff. So I thought I'd re-wet the car. Why not wet it again and try the showroom finish. Why am I putting it on a wet car? Well, I wanted to try it out as a drying aid, really. I like to use quick detailers as drying aids. Quick. I wish I could do it this quick, honestly. And yes, I was wearing my steel toe cap flip-flops. Don't wear flip-flops when you're doing cars. I don't advise it. I just was particularly rather warm. It did seem to do a good job. Buffing it off with a nice microfiber does leave a nice glossy finish. It's got a nice feel to it. It sort of glides. Now this is pretty controversial. This is the Auto Gloss. We're not sure what this one is, if it's an all-in-one. It's certainly not a compound. Avert your eyes. There is a massive amount of Cadbury's swirls. We should have been sponsored by Cadbury's. There's a lot of swirls on this car. Please avert your eyes. This seems to smooth the paint. I would put this as a paint cleanser rather than a glaze. So it seemed to buff off nicely, leaving a nice finish. Obviously not filling the enormous cavities, those swirls, which desperately need machine polishing. I know, yes I know, it all needs doing. So I thought I'd try the rear quarter. Massage this into the rear quarter. The reason I did this on the rear quarter is because of that black trim. I just wanted to see if there was any residue, and also around those window rubbers. And I can report there is none. When you buff this off, you're left with a nice glossy finish. Obviously on very well prepared paint, then you're gonna, see a marked improvement. But when your paint is this bad, it kind of just tarts it up really. Does leave a nice finish though, nice glossy finish. So once this was done, I moved on to the glass. Fast Glass Blue from Paapi. Now this glass is fairly warm, and one thing I did notice, it flashed off incredibly quickly. It seemed to almost disappear. Don't forget the insides of your glass. Obviously I just did the exterior for the video. Working my way around the 6R4 boot spoiler. Obviously everyone knows how powerful this car is. This is why this boot spoiler was fitted. The 1.1S version as this. It's just to stop it from going back to the future. And the last one, this is the silicone based tyre and trim dressing. Now this one I probably thought, I think this is probably my favourite product out of all of them, to be honest with you, just for sheer speed. And it's nice to be able to use a product which is universal. You can use it as an engine base, you know, you can use it on hoses and your tyres as well. Once you've applied it, you need to buff it off. Doesn't take a lot of work at all. It's not streaky. It's, you know, it's easy to apply, which I thought was nice. So many of these are very streaky. Now, did it do anything? Well, we'll take a look at the next clip. I will show you. There you go. You can see a relatively defined line between either side. So I thought I'd try it on the tyres. Gave this 2 coats, 2 very quick coats, just to see what the finish is like. Obviously, if you increase your coats, you're going to get a far more glossy finish. Doesn't, you know, it's not to everyone's favour. Some people like the satin finish. I quite like the wet look. I think it looks okay. Very easy to put on. There was no mess on the wheel trim. Sometimes you get the black dye comes out. And that is what you're left with. Thank you, Paapi Automotive. And we're back indoors, as if by editing magic. It is too warm out there, it's too sticky, there's too many birds tweeting, and there's flies for some unknown reason. And that's not me. I don't smell. I think they're muck spreading. The joys of living in the country, living on an island. Anyway, let's get back to the review. So this end of the market, we say the cheaper end, this is the body shop stuff that most of you guys will never really deal with unless you're really in the industry. So the weekend warriors like myself do the occasional details for friends and people you know, and that, you know, and so on and so on. You won't really sort of come across these products. You'll choose your favourite products, your more of the boutique ranges, and then probably stick with them. But this stuff is a bit of an eye-opener really, and some good, some not so good. We will go through the products and then we'll talk about the prices, because I know you guys will really want to know about the prices. So first of all, there was the snow foam. Now this was very, very thin. I spoke to Sarah about this on the phone. It was okay. It wasn't brilliant. It didn't really produce a thick foam. Thick foam isn't everything. You know, I know it makes brilliant pictures on Instagram. I'm guilty of that myself. But cleaning power was okay, you know, it wasn't fantastic, it was okay, and it obviously just softens the dirt and the debris on the car, what there is of it, excuse me, still sweating, and then just aids you, you know, with your pre-wash regime. There was no APC involved with this. I have to say, on the Metro and the Skoda, they, like most of you, like most cars, suffer with the lower parts, and it sticks like crap to a blanket, to be honest with you. Snow foam isn't probably not going to shift it anyway, so the rest of it was okay. It seemed to be okay. But what I will say as a disclaimer, please do not wash your car in the sun. Unavoidable today. My garden is a mess. I've got a car on the drive, on the garden, and it doesn't matter where I move the car, I probably need a gazebo, to be honest with you, or a decent pop-up gazebo. Don't wash it in the sun. Bit of a disclaimer there. It's not the best thing to do. Watermarks. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so that was the pre-wash. Okay, so it was all right. This is the Cherry Bomb Wash and Wax. Not everyone's favourites, wax infused shampoos. Remember, this is a valeting range. It's to do top-ups on forecourts, or it might, you know, they supply garages and dealers, so it's just to keep them looking nice and fresh. So this was all right. You know, it wasn't the best in lubricants, but boy did this foam up. My God, 3 capfuls of this sort of fella in the bucket, and it was nice. It was nice to use. Didn't glide really well. It did the job, but it produced an enormous amount of suds. So not a bad shampoo, that. Where are we? So when it comes to fallout remover, I did try it. I didn't put it in the video. On that Metro, it's very, very difficult to see fallout bleeding out. I need to do this on a separate car. Sorry for that, Sarah, but I will. I've got catch-up videos to do where I've got products I've missed out, so I will include it this year at some point. We all know what fallout does. It bleeds out iron contaminants in paint, on your wheels, on your bodywork. It does smell, by the way, but they all do. So I'll just skip that one. Then it came to like drying the car after the shampoo stages. I did use this showroom finish, this QD. Does it remove watermarks? Well, kind of, yeah. It sort of nulls them. What it does do is provide quite a slick finish, which I did notice on the Metro when I was buffing it off, and it does leaves a nice gloss. So that's, it's a nice product to have. Or you should keep QDs in your boot anyway, really, to be honest with you. You never know. One of these products really did stand out for me. I'll come to this one in a minute, the polish, but this was this one. This is the Profile, the one you can use, and this is, I think this is silicone based. Correct me if I'm wrong, if it says it on there, I think it is. This I used on the bumper and on the tyre, and it's quite a glossy finish. Not quite so much on the trim, on the bumpers. It's trim safe, rubber safe, hoses, like engine bay. You just use on your trims, but just be careful with it. Try not to get this on your paint. Just keep it on your trims. But once you've got your mitt coated in the product anyway, you can just whip around your bumpers and then do your tyres after. Obviously be careful, contaminants once you've done your tyres. Maybe just use a throwaway sponge, cut a sponge up into triangles and use that. But I was quite impressed by this. It leaves a sort of glossy finish on the tyres and then a sort of semi-gloss on the trim. I did enjoy that one. This one, bit confused with this. Excuse me, still sweating profusely. It's not so much a glaze, I don't think, because it didn't seem to have that much in the way of filling properties. This is the Auto Gloss. It's more of a cleanser, I'd say. Looking at the applicator mitt with a bit of darkish residue, it seems to clean the paint and sort of prep it. So is it a pre-wax cleanser? I'm not too sure about this one. I need to do a bit more research on this. It didn't fill, it did provide gloss and sort of smooth the paint slightly. So that's the Auto Gloss. But this was again impressive. This is the fast glass. Bearing in mind the air temperatures outside and the panel temperatures and the glass temperatures, it flashed off incredibly quickly. Nice to use, does what it says. It's fast glass. It's nice to use. So when it came to the generic wash mitt, you've obviously seen these floating around on eBay. Not much to say about this. It traps the dirt. It's not the best wash mitt in the world, but I will market this stuff as getting you started. If you're a weekend warrior and you haven't got much cash, because we will go through the prices in a minute, and you want to get started, you want to like a little car washing round and get into valeting, I'll aim it at that, because it is in a very, very affordable range. No matter drying towels, I've had these for years. I mean, I've got numerous ones been sent down to me, but they do the job, you know. As you've seen on the video, it picks up the water off the glass, doesn't get too saturated working your way around the vehicle. So again, not bad. This is the good bit. Prices. The prices on this actual kit is a kit. This is their sample kit. It's £45 plus postage. I'll send you down this lot. If you read in the description, I'll put it in the video description underneath the website, and you can have a look yourself. Click on chemicals, by the way, because I do lots of accessories. When it comes to the bulk ranges, for example, this stuff, WAC Profile, 5 litres of this is £19. Okay, so that's the trim product. When it came to fast glass, £8 for 5 litres. Incredible. That's just ridiculous. That 5 litres, that'll see you through a few months. Couldn't really find much on the cherry bomb. That might be me being stupid on the website. When it came to Auto Gloss, £20 for 5 litres. One thing that did stand out, I was looking through the website, which I haven't actually got, I haven't actually got in the kit, it was the tar and glue. For 5 litres, it was $15.99, so 16 squid for 5 litres of tar and glue removal. I know there's a few companies out there that do certain tar removers and they're like treble, quadruple that price. So maybe give it a go, take a punt. As usual, we're trying to introduce some more brands and smaller companies to the channel. Have to say, Sarah's company is family run. So the whole family's involved in this. It's a very, family orientated business. They go out on the road, deliver these products to regular customers. Finding it very, very difficult to bust into the market. The valeting detailing market, as we know, is completely swamped with products, and it's very, very difficult. And part of my job is to sort of educate people, I suppose, on newer brands or older brands that just haven't had the limelight that they probably deserve. So if you ignore the fact that the bottles, they're not the best, the labels are a bit naff. It costs a lot of money to get these labels done. It is so expensive. I've been talking to a couple of people about marketing, and it's a cost a bloody fortune to get labels done. And if you're starting out in a business, you're trying to keep your overheads as low as possible, then maybe that's something they'll do in the future once they get bigger. So sort of a little bit of a criticism, but a label's a label at the end of the day, and if you can remember which one it is you've used, it's, so that's as far as I'm concerned, it's the only sort of real criticism about that. And snow foam wasn't that brilliant, but on the whole, the products work. They're fairly effective, particularly like, once again, the fast glass and the profile. That was probably the favourite product, the profile. Yes, it's silicone based, but if you're doing valeting and speed is the essence, and you want things like that. So once again, I will link the website underneath this video and link Palm Automotive Instagram page as well, because they're fairly new to Instagram. So give them a follow, give them a bit of a helping hand. And if you want some more information about this, don't hesitate to give them a DM. Don't try to message me about these products. Try and message Palmer Automotive if you want more information about it anyway. They're local to me. They're Upminster, so it's not too far. So thanks for watching, guys. There is more brands coming up this year. We are trying to mix it up a little bit. I know that the car meets are not to everyone's taste, but I'm trying to mix the videos up a little bit. Of course, we've got Wax Stock coming up in July, so I hope to see many of you there. Come up, say hello. And please keep subscribing, put your comments in under this video as always, and give it a thumbs up. And I will see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. See you again.